Hey guys, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with a Readathon announcement. But before we get on with that, I just like to say that I make book related videos on this channel and occasionally a few travel related and movie related videos as well. So if you like what you see and you would like to keep up with my content, then don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you can stay updated with my videos. So in today's video, I'll be talking about the Readathon that I'm hosting for March in honor of International Women's Day. The Readathon is called DramaQueenAthon. You see, drama and queen for Women's Day, and I brought the two together. Okay, let's not dwell on how awesome I think that idea is. But yes, I've already announced this in an Instagram post, but I thought I'd do a video as well. So let me just tell you what this Readathon is about. The DramaQueenAthon is a month-long Readathon that will go on from March 1st to March 31st, and I will be hosting it in honor of International Women's Day. For this Readathon, I don't have many rules or conditions that I have put to, for you to participate. It's a pretty easy one, a light, easy breezy one. So if you want to participate in this Readathon, then there are 3 rules that you have to follow, and I'm pretty sure that there are books that adhere to these rules on your TBR somewhere. So the first rule is read at least 2 books. The second rule is that all the books that you read for this Readathon have got to be by women authors. The third and the last rule is that one of these authors, one of these books that you are going to be reading, have to be by an Indian woman author. As an Indian, I couldn't not put that rule there. So that's it. Those are the only rules that you have to follow while participating in this Readathon. Plus, if you happen to post anything related to the Readathon, maybe TBRs, maybe book reviews of books that you've read during this Readathon, anything. If you're posting something, then don't forget to tag me. Use the hashtag DramaQueenAthon and tag me on all my social media. I'll leave it on the screen for you to see. But I'd love to see what you're posting. I love to see what you're reading. I love to see your TBRs, your wrap-ups, everything related to this Readathon. So like the 24-hour Readathon that I had hosted at the end of January, I will be hosting one for Women's Day. I will put up all the details in a post here as well as on Instagram. So if you'd like to participate, if you'd like to know more about it, let me know. So now it's on to my TBR. See, I'm not going to call it my TBR this month, okay? I'm going to call it a TBR pool from which I will choose books to read. I don't know how many I will be able to read, but they're there. The books that I'm supposed to be reading are there. But the thing is, anything can happen. I can pick any book by women authors from my huge TBR, like the 331 book TBR. Anything can happen, but I'm hoping that I will concentrate on these books because this list has some books that are on the 20 books that I want to read in 2020 list. So before we get on with the list, let me just tick off all the rules. The first is read 2 books. That I'm definitely going to do, and even my TBR is like 2 million books or something, but that's not the point. The second rule is that all books are by women authors. Check. The third rule and final rule is that at least one of these has to be Indian authors. And as you'll see, I have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 books by Indian authors. And I'm happy. See, the first 2 books I'm not going to talk much about because I've already talked about these in my past 2 videos and then a book haul video, and then I was so excited to read them, but I never got around to reading them. But I'm hoping that March will be a month in which I will be able to, pick these books and read them, and as promised, also deliver a reading vlog for you guys. Or not a reading vlog, 2 reading vlogs, because for these I've been like, I will be reading this book soon and I will also do a reading vlog. But the books I'm talking about are Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo and The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I don't have anything else to say. I'm just saying that these are on my March TBR, DramaQueenAthon TBR. The next book is for a readathon that I'm participating in. This is by a fellow Instagrammer, fellow bookstagrammer, who she's hosting for Virginia Woolf in March. So The readathon is called Wolf in March, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not mistaken. But the book I'm talking about is To the Lighthouse. I have had this book for ages. I think I bought this in 2014 or 2015, I don't remember, but I've had this there and I have not read it. And then I was like, this seems like a good time to pick this up. And then the miracle was that I remembered that I had this book. And I've heard so many good things about Virginia Woolf, that she writes amazingly well, she captures emotions into her words amazingly well, and okay. So the next book is a reread of one of my favorites of all time, and it's called Fierce Fairy Tales by Nikita Gill. I couldn't not include this in my March TBR and in my own readathon, DramaQueenAthon. When we are talking about queens, we can't not read this book. So I am going to read this. I've spoken a lot about this book. I've fawned and I've raved and done everything, you know, to just say how much I love this book. So this is going to be one of them. I'll probably read this for the 24-hour readathon that I'm hosting. So I think Nikita Gill is a fixture in all my 24-hour readathons, because for the previous one that I did, I read Wild Embers, and this is going for the March readathon. The next book is a book that I've added to a million TBRs already, at least in 2019, and I thought I will read it in 2019 and I will finally understand what the hype is all about. And it's supposed to be an amazing book, and I know so many people who are fans of it. But the push came when a fellow bookstagrammer called Emily, whose Instagram handle is Sweet Book Obsession, go and follow her, you'll thank me later. But the point is, she said, you have to read this book, it's beautiful. And I'm like, that's a good idea. I'm going to add this to my March TBR, and that is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is also a book which I cannot talk much about. You know why? Because I've already talked so much about it. So yes, hopefully this will be my first read of March. I don't know how that's going to go. Like, I say a lot of things, but TBR wise at least, but those don't come true anyway. So the next book is a graphic novel and of one of my favorite books of all time. It is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, and it's been a couple of months since I bought this, but I haven't gotten around to reading it. Maybe subconsciously I was saving it for this readathon, who knows. But yes, I will be reading this for the 24-hour readathon as well, along with Fierce Fairy Tales. But there are a few other books that I will be adding to the pool for that particular 24-hour readathon. Those will all be by women authors, obviously. The next book is Milk Teeth by Amrita Mahale. This is on my 20 backlist books I want to read in 2020 list. This was released last year, and I've been hearing so many good things about this book. And it's beautiful, it's poignant, and I have been wanting to read this ever since I bought it. I haven't even removed the plastic cover though. But I have been excited to read this book, so much that I first bought the Kindle edition when the price dropped, and then when I saw that I was getting this for a very reasonable price, I went ahead and bought it. The next book is Latitudes of Longing by Shubhangi Swarup. This is also a book on my 20 books in 2020 list, and it's also a book that I've been hearing so many good things about. There are so many people I trust who go, this book is one of my favorite books of all time, and I'm like, hold it, I'm going to get this book and I'm going to read this book. At least that's what I thought at the time. But it's only now that I am adding this to any TBR, and that's a start. Because getting a book and not reading it is like usual. But getting a book and adding it to my TBR is the next level. And then reading it is the ultimate level. But I'm hoping to read this in March. An astounding exploration of intense longing, Shubhangi Swarup's novel begins in the depths of the Andaman Sea and follows geological and emotional fault lines through the Irrawaddy Delta and the tourist trap of Thamel. Thamel, is that how it's pronounced? I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. To end amidst the highest glaciers and passes of the Karakorams. The next book is Being Reshma by Reshma Qureshi and Tanya Singh. This is the story of Reshma Qureshi herself, who is an acid attack survivor. And the very act of, looking at this cover, it breaks my heart. And I know that it's not heartbreak and pity that they need. My entire love and admiration and support is for them. And I'm really looking forward to reading this book and to understand Reshma's thought processes, what she went through, how she thinks right now. there's a lot to process. The next book is one that I should have mentioned at the very beginning, but like, as you know, my memory so I'm mentioning it now. But the book I'm talking about is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou, and I knew I had to read this book for my readathon, for DramaQueenAthon in March. Even if I was not holding a readathon, I would have read it in March for International Women's Day, because Maya Angelou is such a strong spirit. Even when she's not here, she's here through her work and through her inspiration, and I absolutely love her. Even though I have not read her works, I have read And Still I Rise, I think the poem is called, and she won my heart. I am very excited to read this book, and I am prepared to get inspired by Maya Angelou's writing. The next book is Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. This is also on my 20 backlist books I want to read in 2020 list. I think it is, at least if my memory is not betraying me. See, I was so excited when I got this book, especially because of the edition, and I did not get to reading it, as you can see. But I thought this would be a good time to, pick this book up and read it, especially because it's for Women's Day and women authors, and I picked it up. The next book is Cartas Postales from Greece by Victoria Hislop. I have spoken a lot about how excited I was to read this after seeing it in a Greece airport, Athens airport if I'm not mistaken, but I never got around to reading it. I've read one of her other books, it's called The Sunrise, and I really loved her writing, and now I'm even more excited to read this. This is about postcards arriving from Greece. That's the title, Cartas Postales. I think this is going to be an easy read compared to The Sunrise, because there are also pictures and etc. in the book. I should not use that in a verbal sentence, but okay. Maybe I will pick this for the 24-hour readathon, but who knows. And the last book in this TBR pool is 1,000 Perfect Notes by C.G. Drews. C.G. Drews is on Instagram and Twitter as Paper Fury, and go and look at her profiles, read her captions, read her tweets, and you will fall in love with her because of how amazing, how witty she is. So I got this book in, I don't remember when. Yes, I got this book and I thought, I'm so excited to read it, but it never happened. So I'm bringing it. I am. And will I be able to read it for the 24-hour readathon? I don't know. So those were all the books that I chose for my TBR pool, not my TBR. I'm playing it safe this month. But those are the books that I chose for the DramaQueenAthon that I'm hosting from March 1st to March 31st. What did you think of these books? Have you read any of these? Do you want to read any of these? Will you be participating in my readathon? And will you be up for another readathon in April, which I'm planning, and the cogs are running, and I'm like... So if you like these books, if you don't like these books, will you be participating, etc, etc, etc. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear any feedback, anything that you have to say, any videos that you'd like me to make. There are a few in the pipeline, but I'd love to hear if you have any other suggestions for me. If you like this video, please like it and share to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.